Viewers, with 2024 Mahabharat around the corner, the hijab issue has once again been brought back to the political discourse, perhaps with an eye on the 70% Muslim votes that the Congress thinks it will get in Karnataka polls, or it got in Karnataka polls. Congress has declared that it will reverse the BJP-era ban on hijab in educational institutions. Of course, this despite the fact that the issue is currently pending with the Supreme Court of India. After this, the Karnataka government was cornered by the BJP for appeasement and trying to impose Sharia law. Under pressure, the Chief Minister was forced to clarify that his government was just contemplating the option. He also added that all the decisions by the government concerning hijab will be taken under the legal purview. The remark by the Karnataka Chief Minister armed BRS and AIMIM with fresh ammunition to take pot shots at him. Owaisi claimed that the Congress government has been in power for more than 7 months, yet they are scared of reversing the hijab ban. Even KTR took a jibe at the Congress and said that first Congress makes promises before polls, then forgets them after elections are over.
Well, since the Siddaramaiah Siddaramaiah-led Congress government has come into power, more than 7 months have passed. A simple order would suffice if Mr. Siddaramaiah, Chief Minister, gives an order that there is no dress code involved. Anyone can wear appropriate clothes and come and continue their higher education. Why has it taken them 7 months?
आपने देखा नहीं होगा शायद, सिद्धरामैया जी ने साफ कर दिया कि उन्होंने हटाया नहीं अभी। आज पूरे हिंदुस्तान में, पूरे मुल्क में जितने भी हमारे भाई हैं, बहन हैं, कांग्रेस हुकूमत की, कांग्रेस पार्टी की रवैया देख रहे हैं। सत्ता में आने से पहले क्या बोलते हैं, हुकूमत में आने के बाद क्या कहते हैं, कैसे बदल जाते हैं, ये सभी लोग देख रहे हैं। इस पे ज्यादा टिप्पणी मैं नहीं करूंगा।
देखिए, हम लगातार ये कहते आ रहे थे कि कांग्रेस पार्टी इलेक्शन के समय में कुछ भी बोलती है, लेकिन इलेक्शन खत्म होते ही वो सारे वादे भूल जाते हैं। कर्नाटका में भी उन्होंने यही किया कि 6 गारंटी दे रहे हैं, ये है वो है, और उस पर कोई अमलावरी अभी तक ढंग से हुआ नहीं है। दूसरी बात, हिजाब पे बैन हटाने की बात, स्पेशली इन द एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस, वो कह रहे थे, लेकिन अभी उसके ऊपर भी वो आगे पीछे हो रहे हैं। ये तो कांग्रेस पार्टी के डीएनए है।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's open this up. Tuhin Sinha stays on, spokesperson, national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Ratan Sharda is also with us. Tausif Ahmed Khan, Vivek Bansal. Gentlemen, now this is another issue that we've discussed in the past, but look at the way this has flared up again. Vivek Bansal, Asaduddin Owaisi has said that all the Muslims must know the real face of the Congress party.
Well, as far as knowing the real face of the party and Owaisi, this statement is concerned, people know and all Muslims know, and this is one of the reasons that they have deserted Owaisi by and large throughout the country, be it may Rajasthan. So he don't have to show us any lessons on this, give any lessons on that. So definitely, everybody knows the game plan of Mr. Owaisi, the way he is playing into the hands of the ruling dispensation, the way he is acting as the B team of the ruling dispensation in the country at the same time. So minority community knows it, what he is up to, what his game plan is, the way he is giving his strength to BJP. Everybody knows that, so I would not like to comment much on that.
Okay, Tuhin Sinha.
Well, Pranesh, the way things stand today, the Congress party and Asaduddin Owaisi are two sides of the same coin. Both are desperate to woo the minority vote bank because that is the only way, that they can prolong their survival in politics. Now, first, where Asaduddin Owaisi is concerned, if he is so obsessed with the hijab, why doesn't he, step down and let a hijab-wearing woman take over the presidentship of his party? That would be real empowerment of the hijab-wearing women. Now, when it comes to the Congress party, our limited point is that when it comes to educational institutions, uniformity in every aspect becomes very important. Even for a teacher to clearly, be able to see the student, whether the student is paying attention, whether the student is able to assimilate the information that is being provided in the class, it becomes important that some amount of uniformity in dress code and otherwise and maintained in educational institution. Why should any intelligent person have a problem with that? That is a limited point. But when it comes to Congress, the issues are much beyond hijab. Their desperation to brand Tipu Sultan, the biggest destroyer of temples in South India, as an icon of secularism.
Are you suggesting that the Congress has deliberately raked up the hijab issue because it wants to divide people?
No, it has always, what do you mean? It tends to divide people on every issue. Whether it was caste census, we never had a problem with the caste census, but they wanted to fudge the caste census in places like Chhattisgarh. So, I mean, Congress has a divisive mentality. What is new about it?
Okay, Tausif Ahmed Khan, what is your take on this hullabaloo about hijab?
You see, Congress must implement what it had promised, and because Congress has found support from the Supreme Court when Justice Dhulia delivered the judgment where he talked about how banning hijab in school is violative of Article 19(1) and Article 21 of the Constitution of the individual girl's right. You see, as observed by Justice Dhulia, you see,
go ahead.
To ask, and may I read from it, to ask a pre-university school girl to take off her hijab at her school gate was an invasion of her privacy and dignity. So this is essentially, a matter of a woman's choice to wear a hijab. If she wants to cover her head, can the government who runs a political campaign, who runs a propaganda, who runs a polarization agenda.
Right. If you quoted what Justice Dhulia had said.
The girl
Let me quote Justice Hemant Gupta. And the only reason I am doing this is only to underline the point that this was a split verdict. The matter is still pending before the Supreme Court of India. Here's what Justice Hemant Gupta said. He said the state has not denied admission to the student. Now listen to me, Tausif. He says, and I'm quoting, the state has not denied admission to the students from attending classes if they choose not to attend classes due to uniform that it has been prescribed. It is a voluntary act of such students and cannot be said to be in violation of Article 29 by the state. It is not a denial of rights by the state, but instead a voluntary act of students. Now, I don't want to get into what will happen. We are not, the only reason I asked you that question is because Mr. Owaisi would have us believe that Congress, and not just Owaisi, like I said in the beginning, you have now the BRS also taking pot shots at the Congress party and saying that you said all this before the polls and now you're doing a U-turn. Now, Mr. Ratan Sharda, is the commentary around hijab a deliberate act to incite passions, to provoke?
Well, Pranesh, first of all, it is purely competitive secularism that is playing havoc with Indian politics. Competitive secularism is who gives more to Muslims, not just minorities, specifically Muslims. Remember manifesto of Congress which said there is special IT park only for Muslims. There is special electricity rates for only mosques and churches, not for temples. We forget that BRS also had such schemes, and we forget what Owaisi talked about, the various options for the Muslims. So he was in alliance with BRS. So they are all from the same group. They all want to play politics of minorities, never thinking of the majority. Hijab, when did it become hijab ban, by the way? The way people bandy around hijab ban, it was never hijab ban. It was hijab ban in the exam hall, in the classroom, because everybody here is secular school should have uniform looking people, not distincting themselves and going to exams with the hijab on. Do you remember in Saudi Arabia, in exam halls, the burqa and hijab has been banned? Will any of the secular people respond to that? None of them open their mouth because they know that this is very, very petty politics, and they talk of high court decision. When the matter is pending on court, why are the secular parties instigating about hijab ban and all that? There is no hijab ban anywhere in India. There is a specific uniform related issue. That court has given a judgment in favor of banning hijab in the classroom so far. Appeal is in the Supreme Court. All this talk is nothing but pure stupid politics. pure vengeful secularism, where you will have special rights for minorities. TMC is sitting here talking about it. TMC offered special salaries to imams and muezzins who just go on the masjid in the morning and 5 times a day, an amount which is just, first there is no special salary for priests. That is not 1/4 or 1/8 of what the muezzins and maulvis get. Is that secularism? When will it come out of this secular whirlpool where everybody is going to drown finally? That is the answer they need to answer, not just something about hijab ban or not.
Mr. Bansal?
Yeah, I would like to buy the panelist. He was referring to that the Congress had made that special electricity rates in their manifesto for the minorities. And all this, where I failed to, I have never come across. So this is all just
for Muslims.
No. There has been never. No, it had never been. It had never been like that for the most
special IT park for Muslims.
Special electricity rates. No, then there was no separate tariffs for that. So please don't come out with all that. Whatever you have to be, we have to be objective. We don't have to.
No, Mr. Bansal, Mr. Sharda was talking about what the KCR has said. Don't get worked up, sir. He was talking about what KCR had said.
I'm talking entire secular phalanx. Secularity has something or other to offer to minorities, specifically Muslims. That is my question. Your Manmohan Singh said that minorities have the first right and Muslims have first right on national resources. वो भी झूठ था. हिजाब रो किसने खड़ा किया? कर्नाटक में
you tell me, Mr. Bansal, let me ask you this.
Hijab ro was created by Congress. Hijab ro was created by Congress or not? आप मानते हैं क्या? आपने कहा हिजाब हटाएंगे कर्नाटक में, वो भी झूठ था क्या? वो झूठ था. हिजाब रो किसने खड़ा किया कर्नाटक में? जवाब
Gandhiji said that unless and until...
No, 1 minute. Mr. Bansal, 1 minute, sir, 1 minute. 1 minute. Ratan Sharda, 1 minute. Mr. Bansal, let me ask you this. Mr. Bansal, when something... अभी आप इससे पहले वाले डिबेट में बोल रहे थे, वो कोर्ट में है मामला, मैं कुछ नहीं बोलूंगा. ये मामला सुप्रीम कोर्ट में है. Why are leaders making comments on this?
Did I say?
No. Why are Congress leaders? Why I'm not naming them? Why are Congress leaders making comments about hijab? And this is not hijab ban. This is only This is only restriction inside classrooms.
Recently, no Congress leader has made a statement on that. I would like to say that no Congress
manifesto में था. आपने इलेक्शन में बार-बार कहा हम हिजाब हटाएंगे,
इलेक्शन में कहा
हिजाब लाएंगे. आपके इलेक्शन में कहा कि नहीं आप लोगों ने? आपने कहा कि नहीं? कोर्ट के डिसीजन के विरुद्ध आपने कहा कि कर्नाटक में हिजाब हटाएंगे, हिजाब लगाएंगे हम.
बहुत सी बातें
मना कर रहे हैं आप. यही आपका प्रियांक खड़गे, यही आपके खड़गे महाराज, यही लोगों ने कहा था ना कि हिजाब बैन हम हटाएंगे. कहा था कि नहीं आपने?
प्रियांक खड़गे said it. Mr. Bansal, Priyank Khadge said it.
पड़ा हुआ है.
आपके प्रॉमिस याद कराए दूसरे सेक्युलर जो यही काम कर रहे हैं. दैट इज द इश्यू. आप लोग मुस्लिम गेम खेलते हैं और भारत के अंदर जहर फैलाते हैं.
हम खेलते हैं सबके. We try to take everybody on board.
How are you taking everybody on board?
We leave out
हिजाब का सवाल किसने खड़ा किया? हिजाब का सवाल इतने साल नहीं था. किसने खड़ा किया हिजाब का सवाल? इतना जवाब दीजिए.
Tuhin Sinha, the Congress party, Mr. Bansal is saying that look, we want harmony in society. It is actually the BJP that is trying to provoke and polarize.
He has a good sense of humor, Pranesh. That's, what I can say. The point is the Congress party, like on all other issues, is in a time warp, even on this issue. Even in the Muslim society today, hijab may not be a significant issue. But for the Congress party, they are obsessed with these issues. When we, through our social welfare schemes, whether it is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, whether it is Jan Sedhan, the percentage of Muslims covered and the way their life has improved, they know that, the Congress party's lollipops and the Congress party's symbolism is insignificant even for the community. That is why, the Congress party is nowhere. They say, hum sabke saath hai, wo kahin ke nahi rahe aaj. सच्चाई यही है, and that is why I am telling you today that unless even today they wake up to real issues, they will be decimated to the extent that their performance will be worse than 2014, less than 40 seats.
Okay, let me ask you this, Mr. Bansal, direct question, sir, please. Now, and don't attack me for asking you this. Is the Congress party raking up the hijab row again ahead of the 2024 elections after the poll loss that you've suffered in the 3 states?
You see, our Siddaramaiah ji has given his statement on that he would take a call after the Supreme Court verdicts comes. So no congressman is raking up this issue. Basically, you see, as I said, we tend to, there are issues which are somehow affecting a particular society. They may be there, so let the law of the land decide. Since it's already they are seized with the matter, I would not like to comment on that.
No, but the Chief Minister has said, sir, what you said is what he said on December 22nd. Here is what the CM said on December 21st. No more will there be a ban on hijab. You can wear a hijab and go to schools wearing and eating what you want and like is your choice.
But at the same time, this Karnataka government hasn't come out with any, as far as ruling or any legislation on this is concerned.
Okay.
At the same time, he has said that let us let the court decide.
Okay. Tausif Ahmed Khan, obviously let the courts decide. Tausif Ahmed Khan, now that the Congress has not delivered in on one of its poll promises, as is being said, what does that make the Congress party guilty of? Hypocrisy, U-turn, giving lollipops?
No, I think it will be too quickly to jump to a conclusion. You see, a wrong done by BJP must be reversed by Congress.
Okay.
Since Congress is in the government now.
It was done by the High Court, sir, and the Supreme Court is,
Karnataka.
you know, let's measure our words.
So they must.
Yeah. It was upheld by the Karnataka High Court.
No.
Then a split verdict from the Supreme Court.
We have all seen BJP supporters, how they created ruckus outside the campaign, how a girl was harassed, and how bravely.
Yeah, so the Congress government in the state must take action, identify such people and take action against.
Who are all supported by BJP and BJP.
Nothing stops the Congress government from taking action against the people that you're mentioning. But we've run out of time. I thank all of you. Ratan Sharda, Tuhin, Sinha, Tausif Ahmed Khan, Vivek Bansal for joining us on the Newshour Agenda. Viewers, thanks for watching.